Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 9 US destroyer, the Benham. We're playing on the map Sea of Fortune. Unfortunately though, there is an aircraft carrier on both teams. However, they are Tier 8, so we can probably manage, and the enemy is a Parseval. Fortunately, this is a Tier 10 battle, which means that there is more HP to farm off of the enemy ships. So I started out by heading over to the A-cap with my Z-52 over here, and we found an enemy Friesland, and the Friesland is actually advancing on a Z-52. The Z-52 has a smoke screen up, and she is hydroing the Friesland, and the Friesland for some reason is still pushing. I suppose maybe Friesland thought that she could get close enough to be able to spot the Z-52 herself, but she didn't know that the Z-52 had some backup. Which means that this Friesland will very likely just go down here for basically nothing in return. Well, I guess technically we got... Well, they actually got like 60% of our Z-52. So it's not for nothing, I suppose. But if I hadn't been there, chances are that the Friesland might have been able to maybe not sink the Z-52 outright, but if the enemy had had some luckier salvos from battleships or similar, then yeah, it could have absolutely happened. So perhaps Friesland's decision to go in wasn't a bad one. It's just that I was supporting the Z-52, whereas the gearing was not supporting the Friesland. Anyway, I'm gonna torpedo the Zizuma, that seems to be coming closer, and I'm gonna turn away because there's a gearing coming. And the gearing seems to have the legendary upgrade because she outspots me by quite a lot. It's at least a few hundred meters. Which means that I can't really challenge that gearing completely in the open, at least with Yamato and Izuma. Oof! That Izuma hit me for like 5k damage. Damn. Anyway, I'm still gonna launch my torpedoes away. So, for those who don't know what the Benham is, it's just basically an incredible torpedo boat. The torpedoes don't deal huge amounts of damage. Like, they do okay damage. They're not weak torpedoes in any sense. They have a 10.5 kilometer range, but what the main thing is that they have about a 60-second reload, and she has two launchers on both sides of the ship, which means that in the ship you're effectively always launching torpedoes. Also, I just hit a torpedo, and the torpedoes were not near a battleship, which means that gearing just took my torpedo. Therefore, she's gonna be low HP for basically the rest of the game, or at least half HP. Which means that she is probably going to play very conservatively. And that makes sense, as a gearing you do have extreme torpedo ranges, so you can play safely. Anyways, the enemies are sailing away. I'll still torpedo because I might just get lucky. You never know, right? Maybe they'll turn around. Oh! I ran aground, but that's okay. I have this one little neat trick. Look at this. See? I had run aground, and then just a few seconds later, I am already not attached to the island anymore. I bet Nutzer would like to know this little trick as well. Anyways, the enemies are going to just sail away here. It's going to be silly to try to chase them because Yamato and Izuma are very attractive targets, but they're sailing away and there's a gearing over there between me and them. And just as I say that, it turns out I am sailing towards them. Yeah. I don't know what happened here. I don't think it's a very good idea to chase them, because they probably won't turn around anytime soon, and there is a gearing over there. I do have RPF, which can tell me where the gearing is, but the gearing still outspots me. Now, there is a mitigating factor. The gearing is low HP, so perhaps chasing isn't the worst choice here. But I should be heading over towards the eastern side of the map to try to fight other ships because these guys are probably completely aware. Oh my god! Wow, those are some surprise torpedoes, but they're spotted far away enough that they don't really matter. I'm still gonna launch because, again, you never know, the battleships might turn around, because behind me there is a Richelieu and a Stalingrad, and the Shikishima is sailing away. A Yamato and Izuma would definitely want to take a fight like that. I launched the other side of the torpedoes just because they have a 60-second reload. I have no use for them anytime soon anyway, and maybe I'll get lucky and hit the gearing again. You know, it can happen. It happened once. I'm sure it can happen again. So, heading over to the eastern side, maybe we can contest the B-cap, or perhaps torpedo this North Carolina. Either is fine right now. But another thing to consider why chasing there was a bad idea, or would be a bad idea, is because this is still a CV battle. I mean, we're behind and all, but it's a CV battle. Even if we somehow deal with the gearing, it's possible that the CV will fly over and then just keep spotting me, while the Yamato and the Izumo just keep shelling at me. Oh, and Yamato apparently seems to actually be coming closer. Which means that I'm gonna try to torpedo her again with my 60-second reload. The reload is just absurd on this ship. I don't know. It's insane. Oh, the CV is actually flying over here with planes. I do have an absurdly good air concealment range though. 2.3 kilometers is very, very, very small as far as this game is concerned. But then again, you know, it's a German CV, so it doesn't matter too much. She's unlikely to strike me with rocket planes anyway. Oh, actually, maybe she is actually turning around and coming after me. Anyway, the B-cap is free. The Z-52, the guy that played really well at the start, I think at least, is actually capping it, which is very good for us. And I'm gonna go and help him. If this North Carolina decides to push forward, I'll just torpedo him. In fact, I'll probably torpedo him regardless, but right now I just want to chill over here, because we're capping and I don't want to get spotted by the planes. Although I suspect I'm going to anyway. I did hit the torpedo on that Yamato, which I guess launching them all the time does pay off sometimes. CV is striking the Z-52, but it's too late to contest the cap zone. I'm gonna try to support with my anti-air, and then I'm gonna try to torpedo this North Carolina. Go away, planes, please. I think then I should turn around, because this Z-52 is gonna be low. They still have 2 destroyers, and the destroyer at the C-cap on the enemy team is an Akizuki. And I don't know how healthy she is. I don't know if I can take a fight with her. If she's very healthy, she will absolutely outfight me. And when that happens, it's going to be very bad for my team. Because our Z-52 is low HP, and never mind, there is no Akizuki anymore. So I guess it doesn't matter after all. But my ship is already turned around and the CV is coming back again, so I'll just hope that my torpedoes do their very best and go between these 2 islands again, because it makes it very difficult for the CV to do much to me. You know, because she has a limited amount of angles to attack from, because the islands block attack runs, and it blocks enemies from firing their guns at me as well. Oh, the Parseval is actually... This is an ambitious drop. Our Z-52 did go down, but I don't know what he was expecting with this one. Dropping a destroyer from behind, especially when she's actually stationary, that's like the easiest thing in the world to... Well, not always the easiest, but generally it doesn't work out. And even if you hit Parseval, torpedoes deal like no damage anyway. Yamato's coming, my torpedoes are up again, so I'll guess I'll leave some presents for her. Then I'll accelerate forward, otherwise she will spot me. I think she'll spot me anyway, but hey, I don't think she is maneuverable enough to be able to avoid everything, and she doesn't get to shoot me in return at least. Well, her secondaries tried, but islands overpowered, please nerf. No, actually, please don't nerf islands. I really like having island armor. CV is dropping me with AP bombers? Really? AP bombers on a destroyer? Okay, yeah, I guess sometimes you see everything. Anyway, Yamato took a lot of damage from a torps and from something else. So I guess we might as well just keep shelling. She is healing. Oh, blind fire. Wow! She just blind fired me for 6k damage! Damn! But she is gone though, so it's not that bad of a trade, but 6k damage? Actually no, it was a bad trade. I probably just shouldn't have fired my guns, at least in retrospect I would not have. But that was an amazing blind salvo by the Yamato. Regardless, I'm gonna just torpedo the Izumo here. I'm gonna try to reposition, reverse away to be able to torpedo on the other side. By the way, On top of the great torpedo reload, the firing angles are excellent as well on this destroyer. Not sure if these are even necessary, but we'll definitely defend the A-cap. I mean, we still have the Richelieu and the Stalingrad over there. Oh yeah, 2 torpedoes and she is flooding now. That's goodbye, Izumo. And now, I guess it'll be the fight over the B-cap. I could actually YOLO into the B-cap and definitely sink this North Carolina. Or perhaps even the Kansas, but I don't know if it's worth it. Right, because I might sink them, but I might also not sink them. They might just sink me in return and then avoid most of the torpedoes. They don't have to, you know, they might still get hit, but hey, being hit by 2 torpedoes to sink a destroyer is usually worth it. And the Kanso has a very good torpedo belt, so I'm gonna try to just torpedo them and then sail away. Since the enemy still has 1 destroyer, it's the gearing. She's probably low enough, but hey, you never know. Maybe that torpedo didn't actually deal that much damage. And she can actually end up contesting caps. Okay, Parseval's right here with the planes again. It's a bit frustrating, but it's okay. 30 seconds on torpedoes. I am a bit worried that the North Carolina might have reversed over there far enough, so I'm gonna make a bit of a detour. Oh, the Parseval is actually heading over towards this island here. Interesting. I think it's a terrible choice, but interesting nonetheless. It's a terrible choice because there's a Richelieu over here. And even if the destroyer, as in me, wasn't here, the Richelieu would be enough to threaten the carrier. Then again, they are in a bit of a dire strait, so maybe it makes sense to try everything she can. Oh, and there's a Montana backing up the Richelieu. Yeah, no, this is a terrible idea, Parseval. There's no chance that this is going to be successful. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep heading straight, and maybe we get lucky on torpedoes against the Parseval. 4 kilometers. That's closer than I thought. There is a Goliath off to this side though, so I am slightly worried. I'm gonna launch torps on one side, and then I'm gonna smoke soon enough, because that Goliath at 8 kilometers, if she gets a lucky salvo, I'm just gone immediately. Luckily, she managed to not hit me hard, but I still took 3000 damage. And remember, Parseval does have secondaries. So I will need to get torps on their side. I think it'll be a trade with the CV then, right? Because I don't see how I'm able to do this in any other way. Oh, and I was typing as she came around the island. That actually could end up screwing me over for a few seconds. But I think it'll be fine. The torpedo should be good enough here. Because she is so close, she should eat almost everything. Yep, goodbye Parseval. And we survived the salvo on the Goliath as well, or from the Goliath. Excellent. Now they still have a gearing, a North Carolina, and the Goliath left. I'm gonna try torping the NC, and I guess the planes are gone, right? It doesn't appear that the CV has any planes left, so I could actually just leave the smoke, but hey, I might as well also just fire in the smoke. I can do that, right? Okay, never mind. Goliath is gone. Next up is the NC. Oh, she is reversing, but game's pretty much over here, right? It's only the gearing. And she had actually 3700 HP left. But she was on the other side of the map. Think about it. That's the guy we fought at the start of the game. And he was on our side, on the opposite side of the map. That's quite amazing. That guy repositioned hard. And with 16.5 kilometer torpedoes, you can do that. 2800 base XP. But yeah, that Z52 definitely deserves a compliment. 2846 base XP, that's an amazing result. Oh my god. That Akizuki 1450 base XP, that is also an amazing result. But hey, we did a lot of damage, 182k. 183k. We kept 2 bases. And we sank the enemy CV, which... And, oh, we even hit a torpedo on the gearing, so... Yeah, I think we did quite a lot this game, and we definitely deserve the XP we received. Let's go over the commander skills and upgrades. So, priority target, as always. Last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, adrenaline rush, then torpedo armament expertise, and last radio location, because that allows you to know where the enemy DDs are. Then obviously upgrades wise we use the torpedo reload, concealment, propulsion mod, then the torpedo speed upgrade, then engine boost. If you don't have this, then use engine room protection, and then main arms modification 1. I like using engine boost here, but you could go for defensive anti-air if you wanted, but the AA is kinda weak, 66 damage, and you only have 2 flak bubbles. It's not really enough in my opinion. But the ship is already good enough anyway, so it's fine. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.